So, loving a black man, as so many black women like to say they love black men, um, I would challenge every black woman to define what loving a black man is, right? I would challenge you to expound on what your definition of loving a black man is. Because it's not just simply saying, oh, I love black men. I love black men. What does it look like, right? What does loving a black man actually look like? What does it entail? What does it entail? What do you have to do to prove that you love black men? Because that's what love is. Love is an action, right? Love is actually submitting to service to one another, and we've monetized relationships so much that we forget about that part, and we forget about that part of what a relationship is when we say that we love or we are in love. Love is actually submitting to service to one another. That means there's an action associated with the word love. The Bible describes love as um, obeying God's word, right? Obeying His commandments. The Bible talks about, if we love God, then we will do His commandments. So right there, that's defining love. That's connecting love with an action. If we love this person, this is what we do to show that we love this person. Christ loves upright. He loves us, right? So how did he show that love for us? Obviously by dying on a cross, or a lot of people like to say he died on a tree, right? Which is the proper way to say it. But what does that love for the black man looks like, right? Because here's typically what black women um, will envision when they say they love a black man, right? They love the image of the black man, right? They love what they see. They love the lust for a black man, right? They love the big muscle bound, um, quote unquote thug looking type of black dude. They love the suits and now this new trend of um, older black man with gray hair and shit like that. That's they love what they see. But what actions do they put behind their words? What are the actions that they do to prove it? The Bible describes love as submission to each other's will, relationship wise, and you can read about this in Ephesians chapter 5, when God talks about the order of the natural order of the family, or the natural order of the male female relationship. God, Christ, man, then female, right? So here are some things that I feel black women need to understand what it means to um, love a black man. First things first, submission, and submission ain't just saying. It's Here's what y'all hear when y'all hear the word submit. Do what I say do. That's exactly what y'all hear, right? Y'all get in y'all attitude. I ain't submitting to nobody. I ain't submitting. I'm submitting to God. I'm submitting to Jesus. I submit to Him, but I ain't submitting to you. Well, if you went to try and submit to Christ before you submit to your husband, Christ would probably um, uh, tell you to go back and follow your husband. Go back, submit to your husband. You cannot submit to your husband. I mean, you cannot submit to Christ. You cannot submit to God if you are not submitted to the one that's there every day. How can you love something that you cannot see, but your husband that's there every day, that you see every day, you don't love, right? You don't show submission. You don't show that agreeableness. You understand what I'm saying? So submission is just like I just pointed out. It is just agreeableness, right? How agreeable are you to your husband's will? Okay. When we formalize ideas and come up with plans and and rules and boundaries for our family, and to keep us in line and to grow and to produce more life, are you that one that's going to combat your man every time he comes up with something? Are you that person? If so, then you're out of line with what the natural order is, and you're out of line with scripture, right? Your job is to show submissiveness, right? It's to show agreeableness. Your husband's job, or your man's job, or the black man's job, is to be that leader, the one that formulates the ideas. The best way a woman can show her love for a man, or for her husband, or for a black woman to show love for a black man, first and foremost, is through agreeableness, is through submission. A woman shows her love through the support of her man, right? A man shows his love for, I mean, we're not necessarily talking about how a man loves a woman, uh, not really in this set, but a man, I'll talk about it since I brought it up, but a man shows his love through what he's able to provide, right? How he's able to provide and protect and work for his family. That's his submission to his family. That's his part, right? And the woman's part is the support part. When a man formulates and comes up with ideas and how to make money and the spiritual guidance of the family, when a man does all this, he teaches it to his woman, who then teaches it to the children, right? The man goes out to war, the woman stays home, and she makes sure when that man comes back from war, he has everything he needs to get up and go out and do it again. That's how we show our love, through our service, right? On both ends. On both ends, that's how we show our love. It's through our service. And we have to have um, um, specific duties that we must do to show that service, right? So here, like I said, here are some things that men desire. Number one, he's going to desire respect, right? Respect, and respect is that submission, is that agreeableness. It's not you bumping your gums every time your man has some sort of idea or a direction he wants to go in. Now, I do believe a man must have a proven track record of being able to lead. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. I don't. You don't want to lead your family down a path that's going to be detrimental to your growth, right? So a man has to have a track record. He has to be a man of his word, right? And when a woman picks up on a man being a man of his word, then it's her job to be that submissive, that supportive, that agreeable person, right? Respect. It's not bumping your gums every time he has something to say, right? It's more so. I understand. I gotcha. It's operating within your natural power as a woman, your natural femininity as a woman, right? And that's through submissiveness, right? Understanding that your man, his natural essence is strong. His natural essence is to lead and to be powerful and to be that soldier, that warrior, that that we all aspire to be. You know what I mean? It takes a man to teach a man that, right? Which will lead me into a couple of more points, right? So when a black woman loves a black man, one thing that she will not do um, is kill off his seed, right? She won't get pregnant and kill off his seed through abortion, right? You absolutely cannot kill a man's seed, right? If you love your black man, you have to go not just your black man, but if you love black men in general, you will not kill off his seed. You understand what I'm saying? Like, contrary to what a lot of people think, like men want to be fathers. Men want to be leaders, right? Men want to be able to provide and to protect and to pass down knowledge and information and to pass down, um, especially to his sons, some sort of inheritance, right? So when you killing off a nation of black men or a nation of black women, how is that showing love? You're murdering your own people. You're murdering what can potentially be that next king, that next huge leader in our community, right? You're killing them off without even giving them a chance to become a productive citizen within our community. Okay? If you love a black man, you will not commit the greatest genocide ever perpetrated by anybody. You know what I'm saying? You will not kill off a black man's seed. I remember in Exodus, in Exodus, right? Moses was he was just a child, right? Um, and there was a pharaoh, right? That that came on um, after Joseph was gone, and he knew not the ways of Joseph, and he chose to deal with the Hebrews wisely, because he felt like the Israelites that was in the land of Egypt at the time, they were growing so massive in numbers that he feared that they would, if they were to ever go to war, that the Israelites would join with their enemies and then overtake them. So what he decided to do, one of the things he decided to do was go to the Hebrew midwives at the time and tell them that, hey, if your women who's giving birth have female children, go ahead and let them live, right? Go ahead and let them live. But if they have male children, kill them off. Okay? And the loyalty that the Hebrew midwives had towards their community, towards their men, towards the married people, towards their towards their community as a whole, would not allow them to do that. You know what I mean? So they went back to Pharaoh, and said, hey, uh, we couldn't, because we couldn't kill off all the black males that our women was producing. Why? Because they went back and told Pharaoh that the Hebrew women have babies really quick. By the time we get there, they're already, the children are already birthed, right? But that was something they told Pharaoh. Whether that was true or not, we don't know. I mean, we can say yeah, because it said they could have just perpetrated a lie. I don't know. But it also says that the Hebrew women feared God and they didn't want to do it. They absolutely knew what the men of the community meant to the growth of their nation, to the strength of their nation. And so when we show disloyalty to our black men by murdering our seeds, how can you say that you love? How can you say that you love you love black men? How can you? There's absolutely no way that you can say you love black men, but you kill his seed off. You understand what I'm saying? You just cannot do it. You cannot say you love black men without loving his children as well. Okay? Now, here's some other things. So when we talking about loving black men, we gotta look at the raising or the rearing up of children. Once we have those children, what are we doing? Right? How are we training up our children in the ways they should go? Right? A lot of us, technically myself included, and you know my brothers and sisters included, we grew up with technically without a father in the actual home, but we always had access to our father. But a lot of us did not. Right? A lot of us didn't. You know, our father put us in football. Our father, did the best he can. You know, and we love and appreciate him for it. But a lot of us didn't even have that. You understand what I'm saying? We've always had access to it, but a lot of us did not even, we can't even say that we knew our father. So the rearing up of our children was left to the mother, right? For whatever reason, it varies case by case. But typically what happens is the woman, probably misinterprets some things that goes bad in the relationship and breaks off the relationship. So just a little statistics to prove that's true. When we look at the divorce rate, just in the black community, 80% of all black marriages end in divorce, which were perpetrated by the female. Most of marriages in the black community, and this is marriages in general, most marriages in general that end in divorce end with the woman perpetrating the divorce or initiating the divorce, right? And so that carries over into the black community because we're learning from other cultures, right? We divorce our men so much, our children suffer. Understand what I'm saying? We divorce our men so much. The rearing up of the family suffer. I have never seen myself a man that has ever initiated a divorce. Now that's just me personally. A black man, I've never seen a black man initiate a divorce. Here's the thing. Typically black men, or just men in general, but again, I'm talking to the black community right now, but typically men don't want divorces. Like I said earlier, men want to be fathers and leaders, and they want to rear up children, and they want things to pass down, and they want, they want legacy. You understand? They want legacy. But when we're divorcing our men at such a high rate, 80%, and I guarantee you some people will argue it's higher. 80% of all, now we're just talking about black marriages right now. I said marriages in general, but right now we're talking about marriages within the black community. 80%, some people will argue higher, but I'm just saying 80% because I'm probably being a little generous. Of divorces within our community are initiated or perpetrated by the black woman. You understand what I'm saying? And that leads to a broken home for our children. right? Which goes back into how we rearing up our children. Women cannot rear up children by themselves. But at the same time, women are the ones breaking up the families. Excuse me, I'm gonna sip some water. Right? Women complain about being single mothers and about how they baby daddies or ex-husbands or whatever ain't doing his part. Well, shit. Who broke up the family? You did. You understand what I'm saying? And now our children are suffering because now they don't get that even um, that balance that's supposed to come with rearing up the children. Our young boys need their fathers. Their fathers have something within them that a mother cannot provide. Our fathers have something in them that our mothers cannot ever provide. What that is a realization and an understanding of who you are. Right? It's a realization and an understanding of who you are. It's a realization and understanding of what your heritage is. Black boys need that. Black boys go crazy without it. Black boys have no identity without it, and then that's the number one thing that leads to high school dropout rates, baby mama, baby daddy culture, confusion, homosexuality. It's because we have no identity. You understand what I'm saying? The young black boys, if they have no identity, they go buck wild out here. And that's what a father provides. He provides that spiritual understanding of who they are. Case in point, why do you think when a woman tells a child that's misbehaving to do something, they'll stop for a second, then they'll get back to what they were doing, right? Whatever the woman told them to stop doing, they'll stop for a second, yeah. But when she ain't looking, they're back doing what she just told them not to stop at. But when a father comes in and with that voice, with that deep voice, with that look, with that stare, with that sternness, we straighten up like a mofo. You understand what I'm saying? That's something in that man's spirit that's spiritually connecting with that child. Whether it be man, boy, or girls, there's something within that man's spirit that's telling that child, talking to his spirit or her spirit, saying, you better calm the hell down. You understand what I'm saying? But the rearing up of children, you all cannot do it on your own. You absolutely cannot. Are there some cases where we get a single black mother that somehow gets her kids into college and they grow up and to be pretty productive? Yeah, of course. Does it happen often? Not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Is it supposed to be that way? Hell to the no, it's not supposed to be that way. Because here's why college is not always the best answer. Typically you grow up and you go straight into debt. You know what I mean? And the biggest debt holders, the biggest college educated debt holders or black women, right? And they're teaching their children to go in that same path, right? Where a father is going to teach that young kid, young boy, to work with his hands and to produce something that's going to generate income first, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with kids going to college or anything like that, but the debt, the debt that comes with all that education and shit, like, is it really worth it? I see tons of older black women going back to school in their 30s and 40s, taking on so much more fucking debt for what? And they're single, and they'll never be able to pay it back. They'll never pay it back. Typically, when people graduate college, if they don't get like financial aid and grants and scholarships and stuff, the education they almost never pay back. There are some cases where, yeah, they do pay it back. Takes a long time, but they pay it back, and that's cool. But for the most part, no one ever pays that shit back, right? And then, like I said, the biggest debt holders are educated black women. You understand what I'm saying? So one other and a father can provide a different route. That's the general route that we always want to go to, which is always, you know, initiated by the black woman, because she feels that's the way that they should go. Graduate high school, get into college, get out of college, get a good job. You know what I mean? Where if a man has a trade, he passes that trade down to his son, possibly even his daughter, more than likely his son, to where when he gets out of high school, he's already in a position to generate income. You understand what I'm saying? So again, the rearing up of children is so crucial. In black women, if you love black men, you will allow these black men to rear up their children, even if you two are not together. It's the natural way. Fathers have something you can never, ever, ever provide. And it's something deep down within us. It's something deep down within our spirit that you cannot provide. It's direction. It's leadership. It's a spiritual understanding of who. It's a spiritual understanding of who we are when we're growing up. To a daughter, a father provides modesty. A father is supposed to provide modesty. Now, women, you're supposed to teach this to your daughters, but a father enforces it hard. The Bible talks about a man loses sleep over thinking about his daughters, right? So a father enforces modesty on his daughters. Any man, any father who does not enforce modesty in dress, in behavior, who doesn't enforce um, sexual intelligence and integrity into their daughters, you are adding to the problem of baby mama, baby daddy culture. You are adding to the downfall of a lot of our black women, of a lot of our black young girls getting pregnant early. You're adding to the downfall of our black men becoming subject to just witchcraft of makeup and becoming subject and prisoners of this naked feminist culture that says I can go out and be a hoe all I want to, and you can't do nothing about it. You're contributing and teaching this to your daughters. You understand what I'm saying? And so fathers will provide a strict enforcement of modesty on their daughters. You understand what I mean? Like, you have to. You cannot. You cannot be a father, especially a black father, and not enforce modesty and good behavior out of your daughters. Otherwise they're going to be out there buck wild, and when your buck wild daughter is out there, she's going to be producing babies by 5-10 different dudes. You get what I'm saying? So even if black moms, black dads, even if you are not together, black women, if you say you love black men, you will force these black men to be a part of their children's lives. You ain't gonna be doing no bitching and moaning, trying to hold these kids from their fathers because you and him have had a bad relationship. That ain't on that kid. You, black woman, needs to grow the fuck up and understand the difference between your relationship with that man and what those kids need out of that man. You get what I'm saying? Now, this is not in all cases, because some black men don't understand who they are. Some black men don't understand, what their purpose is. And as soon as you bring up the word abortion, they like, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? It's because they don't know who they are. They're confused about their identity. They don't love themselves. So how can you love someone else when you cannot love yourself? When you don't understand who you are? When you're not submissive to yourself? You understand what I'm saying? You're not submissive to your nation and to your people and to your culture. You get what I'm saying? Excuse me, I'm going to sip this water real quick. So black women, if you say you love black men, rearing up children, bringing up children, plays a huge role. Allowing these black men to be fathers. Stop aborting our babies. Stop divorcing us at such a high rate. Allow these black men to raise their children. You get what I'm saying? If you say you love black men, these are the actions you must take. And the family structure will be so much better. Ain't that what you want? But no, y'all out here trying to create your own family. You take Pookie, Ray Ray, Lil Johnny, you got kids by all them different dudes. 2 or 3 kids by all them different dudes. And then you go out and get another dude and say, I'm gonna marry him. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got so much confusion because you lack you lack the self-awareness of who you are. You get what I'm saying? And that's more than likely because you had a disconnect with your father. You get what I'm saying? It's a cycle. And I know y'all heard this before, but it's a cycle that we gotta stop. Shout out to all those who's actively working to stop it. And if you got a great household, your job is to be teaching another. You understand what I'm saying? Stop aborting our children. Stop divorcing us at a super high rate. Allow us, black men, to raise our children. You get what I'm saying? Here's another thing. I think I mentioned before. If I didn't, I'm going to mention it now. Stop monetizing relationships. Relationships are about love, not what you can get out of someone. You understand what I'm saying? This is the way we look at our relationship with Christ too. We look at our relationship with Christ. Oh, he gave me a car. I'm going to get a vacation. I got a good job. I got this. I got all these monetary things. I got money. I got all this. I'm valuable. You get what I'm saying? But then when you're out here in the dating market, and you find someone that you can possibly like, you don't want to take a second look at him because he's probably not as educated as you are. He don't make as much money as you do. You get what I'm saying? We keep putting monetary values and materialistic values on our relationship when that's not what relationships are about. Relationships are for us to come together and submit our wills to one another. You get what I'm saying? It's the natural order. Right? Ladies, if you make 80,000 and he make 60,000, you don't run shit. Together you guys make 140,000. You understand? You get what I'm saying though, right? You don't run nothing. And that's typically the way that women view things. If I make more than my man, then I'm running shit. My man is not worth my time because he doesn't make him as much money as I do. He didn't go to college as much as I did. Ladies, none of that shit matters. You get what I'm saying? None of that matters. The building of a relationship is about building a community together. Whatever he brings in for the family. And that's how he thinks about it. He looking at your 80,000 and his 60,000 as together we make 140. You know what I'm saying? But when in modern women, they're thinking, I make more, so guess what? I'm in charge. I run things. I make the decisions. When that's not what it's about. You get it? Your submission to one another is what it's about. Your love and the rearing up of children and loyalty to one another, it's what it's about. Now, am I saying money don't matter? No, of course not. The Bible talks about money can solve a lot of problems. You know what I mean? But that's not it. The love of money is the root of all evil. Ladies, your education is making you so oblivious to what men want. You think your education and the amount of money you make makes you higher and more valuable in a man's eyes when a man does not give a damn about your education. A man does not give a damn about your money. A man does not give a damn about your status. Man don't give a damn about any of that. Are you respectful? Are you quiet? Are you meek? Are you modest? Can you rear up these children correctly? That's what a man cares about. He don't give a damn about your money. Because he knows, no matter whatever number of dollars you make per year, he's the one that's going to be paying the bill. So why the hell does he has to give a damn about your money? You get what I'm saying? Hopefully you women will understand that. Like, listen to my words. If you say you love black men, stop monetizing and materializing relationships. Relationships ain't about how many trips you can go on in a year. Relationships are not about a man picking your fat ass up. A relationship is not about what you see on reality TV that's fake as hell, that's scripted as hell. Understand the difference between freaking real reality and what's on TV. You understand what I'm saying? All men ain't gonna be tall and muscular. Why do you judge a man based on attributes of himself that he cannot change? Can he change being fat? Yeah. Can he change being tall? No. Can he change the way he look? No. This is what our ancestors understood. This is what our grandparents understood. Right? Some things you just cannot change. Excuse me. But you judge a man based on that. Physical attraction, yeah, of course, it plays a part. Does it play a major part? No. But once you're in that relationship with somebody that you can see yourself with for a long time, all these other factors, the money, the education, the status, all that shit does not matter. Women always are looking at the other side of the fence, and they always want to, keep one eye over at the other fence because they believe the grass is greener, but they're only looking at one patch of the grass that's on the other side of the fence. That's all they can see right now. And the reason they divorce you all at such a high rate, they claim they're not happy because they keep looking at the other side of the fence, looking at that one patch of green grass. But when they get over that fence and they look at it, they notice all the other grass is dead, brown. And they see that one patch over there, think they can change it when they can't. You understand what I'm saying? Women, understand you cannot serve two masters. This is what God was telling us in when he was talking about our relationships with him. We as his children, we cannot serve two masters. Ephesians 5 tells us that we are the bride of Christ. We cannot serve two masters. You understand what I'm saying? We can only serve one. But when we start, looking to see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, seeing things that we believe that's going to help us out, but it really doesn't, seeing all these shiny, glimmery things, we think that we can serve two people. And so that leads to a whole bunch of confusion, because now you have two men inputting their seed in you, right? And you have to submit to one of them. You have to submit to the will of one of them, to the guidance and spiritual direction to one of those men. You cannot submit to two, just like we cannot submit to two gods. That's why the first commandment that God gives us is, thou shalt not have no other God before me. But y'all ain't hear me though. I'm getting into the spiritual breakdown of this stuff. You feel me? But y'all ain't hearing me though. But our women say they love black men. What are the actions you're putting behind your words? All that shimmery, shiny, glimmery stuff. That's what they're attracted to. That's what they love. Women are a right now type of people. Just like God's children were right now type of people. They're impatient. They didn't want to wait. They didn't want to learn. They didn't want to submit. Women, let me tell you something. Biblically, what you represent is the children of Israel, which is the bride of Christ. You represent sacrifice and death. There's no life in you. That life we get comes from who our husband is, which is Christ. That's where the life comes from. We have no life in us. Just like women, you cannot produce life on your own. We have no life in us without Christ. You have zero life in you. In your womb, you have no life in you until a man come and input his sperm inside of you. That is life producing. But you say you love black men. What does that look like? Tell me. What does your love for black men look like? Or is it just some sort of fantasy lust? You're just looking at you like the image of the black man. Where does your loyalty lie? Ladies, just because you got a great education, you got this good job, and all these other coaches are putting you on a pedestal for no motherfucking reason at all, just because you're a black woman, they feel like they need to put you on a pedestal, or at least tell you to your face that does not make you better than your black man. We were created together. We're supposed to be together. It's not make you better. You get that? Sooner you get these concepts, sooner you get these understandings to your mind, you know what I mean? The sooner we can have a productive relationship with each other. But you say you love black men, but you don't want to do none of this. You understand what I'm saying? Loving a black man is more than just loving his physical appearance. It's the submission and understanding he is the head. It's the how agreeable are you to his will? Excuse me. How loudmouth are you? How much does he speak your praises? You get what I'm saying? But you love black men. Tell me, what are the actions you're putting behind your love for black men? It cannot just simply be saying, oh, I love black men. Shut that shit up. Show us. Show us. You get what I'm saying? Show us. Respect and submission. Stop divorcing us at a high rate. Most of the divorces is about y'all had an argument, now you wanna leave. You get what I'm saying? You're initiating divorce at the highest rate out of all cultures. Stop aborting our baby. Stop killing off our seed. Stop killing off our heritage. You are not above us because you have money, status, and education. What does that make you? It makes you single. Because men don't give a damn about none of that. You understand what I'm saying? The nature of a woman craves leadership. It craves a man that understands his role and his purpose in this earth. It craves agreeableness. Fellas, we got to give this to him. You understand what I'm saying? You have to give it to him. If you do not understand who you are, what your purpose is in this life, you should not be seeking to get into a relationship with anyone. You get in a relationship with the Most High God and yourself first. Get yourself together first. You understand? Understand your purpose first before you even think about jumping into a relationship with a black woman. And again, I'm talking specifically to my black community. Y'all are me, I am you. But this can go out to a whole lot of other cultures. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to sip this water. I keep hearing all this bumping and stuff. I don't know what the neighbors are doing, but that shit is irritating. Ladies, what did you learn? Fellas, what did you learn? What are you going to expect from here on out? I hope your eyes has been opened to what it is to love a black man. Why do I keep saying love a black man? Love a black man. Love black men. And it's not you love one and not the other. You can't love the big muscular one that has a beard and who's fawning and all that bullshit, and not love the skinny, sometimes not confident one, the fat chubby one who has a problem with overeating. You can't say you love him. You can't say you love the one that you're most physically and sexually attracted to, and not love the other ones that you're not so physically attracted and sexually attracted to. It's loyalty to our race. It's loyalty to our people. But you say you love black men. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope y'all found this inspiring or helpful to your everyday journeys in relationship building and community building and family building and general and generational wealth building and whatever it may be that you need. I hope you got it from this. Black women, understand what it is to love a black man. This is for you. I'm Big Z. This is the Natural Order Podcast. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.